The first thing you're going to do is fold your sheet in half on the short side. And anytime you make a fold, you want to make sure that you're careful to line up the two edges with one another before you make that crease. When you use your bone folder, you want to make sure that you start from the center out. So you're always creasing in that direction. So now I've got my sheet flipped and I'm folding those halves in half, and again lining up those edges, creasing from the center out, and you're going to do that on both sides. So after you make that final crease, what you've got when you open it up kind of looks like a W shape. You've got one crease going one direction and two going the other. You're going to open up that sheet onto itself and fold it in half again, but this time lengthwise, and making sure that you line those edges up and crease from the center out. So when you're done creasing and you open up your sheet, you can see that the creases have made 8 individual sections. Those are going to be your pages and the cover of your book. When you look at your sheet in this direction, you can see 3 creases visible, and what I want you to do is make a little pencil line on the 2 outermost creases, so the ones that are closest to the edges of your sheet. So those little marks are just going to show you where to stop and start cutting. Basically what we're going to do now is remove a small portion of that crease in between those 2 marks. So I'm going to make a little diagonal cut at my first mark from my ruler out, and then I'm going to use that straight edge and knife to just sliver out a small portion of the crease, and then I'm finishing it there with another angled cut, basically removing that center crease. So I paused here so that you can see when you stand your book on edge, it's left that center open now. If you squish it together and then fold it back on itself, that's what's going to make your book. So removing that little bit of material on the inside opens it up to make those separate pages. So you've got a cover on the outside and then 6 pages on the inside. And again, here's that motion of like squishing it and then folding it on itself.